Elon Musk goes completely silent, and the timing couldn't be more intriguing. In the fast-moving world of tech, media, and public debate, silence can sometimes speak louder than any tweet, interview, or headline. And when someone as outspoken and ever-present as Elon Musk suddenly pulls back, people notice. They analyze, they speculate, they ask one simple question: why now? Recently, attention is turned toward a shift involving commentator Ashley St. Clair. Known for her strong opinions and active presence in online conversations, she has never been afraid to take a stance. But when she appeared to adjust or clarify her views on certain issues, something unexpected happened. Musk, who has often engaged publicly with cultural and political debates, seemed to step back. No immediate response, no sharp retort, no lengthy thread, just silence. And that silence has sparked curiosity across social platforms, news outlets, and discussion forums alike. To understand why this moment has captured so much attention, we need to step back and look at the broader context. Elon Musk has built a reputation not only as the driving force behind companies like SpaceX and Tesla, but also as a central figure in the digital public square. His acquisition of Twitter, now known as X, placed him at the center of global conversations about free speech, platform moderation, and cultural debate. Musk's communication style is direct, sometimes playful, sometimes provocative, often unpredictable. He has never shied away from responding to critics or supporters alike. Whether discussing space exploration, electric vehicles, artificial intelligence, or social commentary, he has consistently maintained a visible presence. Ashley St. Clair, on the other hand, has cultivated her own following as a commentator with strong views on cultural issues. Her content has resonated with a specific audience, and like many public figures in the digital era, her statements have occasionally sparked debate. At various points, their online worlds intersected. Interactions, public replies, shared commentary. Nothing unusual in a landscape where influential voices often engage directly. But when St. Clair's tone or perspective appeared to shift, observers noticed something different from Musk: a pause. And that pause became the story. Some reports suggest that St. Clair's recent commentary signaled a recalibration. Whether it was a nuanced clarification or a broader change in emphasis, interpretations varied. In the digital age, even subtle adjustments can be amplified. Screenshots circulate, context is debated, intentions are questioned. Yet amid all that noise, Musk did not jump in. For someone known to respond quickly and publicly, the absence of reaction felt almost deliberate. Was it strategic restraint? Was it coincidence? Or was it simply a matter of priorities shifting behind the scenes? Public speculation naturally filled the vacuum. There's an interesting psychological dynamic at play when high-profile figures choose silence. In a world conditioned for constant updates, silence creates space, and space invites projection. Supporters may interpret it as maturity or discipline. Critics may see avoidance. Neutral observers may simply see calculation. The truth, of course, is rarely as simple as online narratives suggest. It's important to remember that public figures operate within layers of strategy. Every response, every post, every engagement can ripple outward into markets, media cycles, and investor confidence. Musk's words have moved stock prices before. They have sparked global headlines. They have influenced policy conversations. So when he chooses not to speak, that choice can carry weight. At the same time, Ashley St. Clair's evolving commentary reflects a broader phenomenon we see across digital culture. Influencers and commentators are constantly navigating shifting audiences, changing algorithms, and the complex reality of real-world consequences. Adjustments in tone or perspective can reflect personal growth, strategic repositioning, or simply a response to new information. In that sense, this moment is less about a clash and more about contrast. One voice recalibrates, another goes quiet. But here's where things get even more interesting. In the middle of this unfolding narrative, the broader conversation about online discourse continues to evolve. Musk has positioned himself as an advocate for expansive speech on digital platforms. He has argued for fewer restrictions and more open dialogue. Critics have challenged aspects of that approach, while supporters have praised it as necessary reform. Ashley St. Clair has also been part of conversations around culture and expression. So when her tone shifts, observers naturally wonder how that intersects with Musk's stated philosophy. Does silence signal agreement, disagreement, strategic neutrality, or does it signal something else entirely? Midway through this story, a deeper question emerges. What does leadership look like in the age of instant reaction? We've grown accustomed to leaders responding immediately to every development. Social media has compressed reaction times. Expectations are immediate. Commentary is constant. But silence can be a form of leadership too. It can signal confidence. It can signal focus. It can signal a refusal to amplify controversy. And that possibility reframes the narrative. Perhaps Musk's silence is less about St. Clair specifically and more about a broader shift in approach. After years of being one of the most vocal figures online, is he recalibrating his own engagement strategy? Is he choosing to let conversations unfold without direct intervention? Some observers point to the increasing complexity of managing global enterprises. SpaceX continues to pursue ambitious missions beyond Earth's orbit. Tesla navigates competitive markets and evolving consumer expectations. Neuralink and other ventures push into frontier technologies. The demands on Musk's time and attention are substantial. In that context, silence may not be dramatic at all. It may simply reflect focus. Yet public narratives rarely settle for simple explanations. On discussion boards and social platforms, theories circulate. Some suggest strategic distancing. Others suggest behind-the-scenes communication. It's worth emphasizing that much of this remains speculative. Publicly available information offers limited insight into private conversations or internal decision-making.
And that's a crucial point. In the digital era, the line between documented fact and collective assumption can blur quickly. A lack of response becomes interpreted as a message in itself. Screenshots are analyzed frame by frame. Timelines are dissected. Silence becomes content. But silence, by definition, contains no explicit statement. That ambiguity is powerful. There's also a broader cultural layer here. Public figures are increasingly judged not only by what they say, but by what they choose not to say. Audiences expect engagement. They expect alignment. They expect clarity. When clarity doesn't arrive, curiosity intensifies. Ashley St. Clair's apparent shift in tone reflects a reality many public commentators face. Perspectives evolve, priorities change, messaging adapts. The internet, however, has a long memory. Past statements are archived, comparisons are inevitable. In that environment, any perceived change can trigger debate. And when someone as influential as Elon Musk refrains from entering that debate, it adds another layer of intrigue. Is this a sign of maturity in digital discourse, a move away from reactive engagement? Or is it simply a momentary pause before the next headline?
Only time will tell. What makes this situation compelling isn't conflict, it's contrast. One figure adjusting publicly, another stepping back publicly. Two different approaches to the same ecosystem. And that ecosystem is larger than either individual. We are living in an era where social platforms shape narratives at unprecedented speed. Influential voices can amplify ideas instantly, but they can also choose not to amplify them. That choice matters. There's a subtle power in restraint. As the story continues to unfold, it may ultimately reveal less about disagreement and more about evolution. Public figures grow, platforms evolve, audiences shift, strategies change. Perhaps this moment will fade into the constant churn of online news cycles, or perhaps it will mark a quiet turning point in how high-profile leaders engage with cultural commentary. Toward the latter part of this unfolding narrative, a final reflection emerges. Silence is often misunderstood. It can be mistaken for weakness, avoidance, or indifference, but it can also represent calculation, focus, or simply a decision not to contribute to noise. For Elon Musk, a figure who has rarely avoided the spotlight, silence feels unusual. That's precisely why it resonates. For Ashley St. Clair, a shift in perspective highlights the fluid nature of digital commentary. No voice remains static forever. And for the audience watching it all, this moment invites a broader question. In a world saturated with opinions, is it possible that choosing not to speak can be as influential as speaking?
That question lingers, because beyond the personalities, beyond the headlines, beyond the speculation, this story reflects something larger about our collective relationship with attention and reaction. We expect immediacy, we reward boldness, we amplify controversy. Yet sometimes the most strategic move is simply to step back. Whether Musk's silence continues or breaks in the days ahead, the impact of this pause has already sparked conversation. It has prompted analysis. It has revealed how deeply we scrutinize the interactions of influential figures. And perhaps that scrutiny says as much about us as it does about them. As this chapter unfolds, the only certainty is that the digital stage never stays quiet for long. Voices rise, narratives shift,
new developments emerge. But for now, the silence remains. And sometimes, that's the most powerful statement of all. If you found this analysis insightful, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories shaping technology, culture, and public conversation. And I'd genuinely love to hear your perspective. Do you see silence as strategy, coincidence, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue the conversation. Thanks for watching.